Everyone, welcome to the Springfield Township Board of Trustee meeting. It is May 13th, 2014 at about 5:30 p.m. Mr. Vernon, may we please have a roll call?
Yes, Mr. Vernon? Present. Mr. McFarland?
Present.
Mr. Humlock?
Present.
All trustees are present.
Next, I would ask that we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I would ask that Eagle Scout Jonah Coffey please come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay up there for 1 second. We have a special presentation this evening. We are pleased to welcome Eagle Scout Jonah Coffey here, and we have a certificate to present to him in recognition of his community service. He will come down here in front, Jonah. Just hang to us one moment.
Jonah Coffey first joined the Boy Scouts as a second grader and has actively continued through the ranks, achieving his Eagle Scout at the young age of 14. Few boys move up through the ranks of scouting, and only 4% achieve the rank of Eagle Scout before their 18th birthday. This in itself is quite an achievement. Throughout his time as Boy Scouts, Jonah volunteered for church and community cleanup projects and worked with Kids Against Hunger, which packages meals to send to areas of the world dealing with devastating loss. Jonah continues to give back to the Scouts. His claim to fame is a success in the PAC's yearly popcorn sale fundraiser. Jonah has consistently sold in the top 5 Scouts out of nearly 30,000 Scouts in the Danbury Council. One year he was named as top Scout, selling over $6,000 in popcorn. For this, he was awarded the honor of throwing out a first pitch at the Cincinnati Reds game. In spring of 2013, Jonah began his Eagle Scout project. He transformed an unused office at Northwest High School into a spirit wear shop for the Northwest Booster Association. He cleaned and painted the room, built a cubby system from scratch, and installed slat walls to display merchandise. In order to complete his project, he solicited the donation of materials and labor and took on a leadership role to ensure that the work was completed correctly and on schedule. He completed the project by having the Northwest Lightning End painted at the entrance of the room. Ms. Smith, Northwest High School principal, was unable to be here tonight, but asked that we express how much that the project meant to the school. She stated that Jonah's project has impacted the school spirit of the students at Northwest High School in a positive way. Having a place to purchase spiritware and have items in front of our building has increased the pride of the students on our campus and has created a stronger sense of community. The layout of the spiritware store is well thought out, and the fresh coat of paint, along with incorporating our school logo on the wall, makes a place for students, alumni, and parents that they want to visit. Students are consistently inquiring about the hours of the school store because they enjoy supporting our school with their purchases. The students and staff of Northwest High School congratulate Jonah on a job well done on his Eagle Scout Award. Tonight, we share in this appreciation and congratulate Jonah on his accomplishments.
Recognition of Community Services. Springfield Township recognizes Jonah Michael Coffey, presented the 13th day of May in the year 2014. Recognizing outstanding achievements in community service with the successful completion of his Eagle Scout. Signed, Mark Erling, Joe Hunter, along with McFarland. Thank you. And I would also like to acknowledge, without out in support of his parents. Would not properly be here, so I'm just wanting to ask the parents if you guys and grandma can stand up and just let everyone see who the great people are behind him and with him. And grandpa. Congratulations.
Okay, moving on to our meeting this evening, Mr. Burning, our fiscal officer, do you have a financial report for us?
Yeah, I just request a motion to approve receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, updating current revenues and reports for the period. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I just want everyone to know that all financial reports are available for viewing at the administrative offices weekly during the regular business hours. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Burning. Next, moving on to departmental action and discussion items. Mr. Hennigan, do you have a report for us?
I do, Mr. Honorable. A few action items tonight. The first two are both liquor permits. Both of these are new permit requests. The first is to 6480 Vets LLC, and that is located at 10814 Hamilton Avenue. And the second is Ankit Enterprises LLC. The business is the Maharaja, and that is located at 8621 Winton Road. And both, as I mentioned earlier, are new permits. I don't believe there's any objections by our police department, so we recommend the board take the customary action, ensure that there are no objections by the township.
Do we have a motion directing the fiscal officer to send the appropriate letter to the Ohio Department of Labor Control?
So moved.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item I have is to seek the board's authorization to allow me to enter into an agreement with the city of Mount Healthy pertaining to their purchase of salt from Springfield Township. Through this past winter, Mount Healthy on several occasions did request to purchase salt from us due to the extreme conditions we had this winter. They had asked, had approached and requested whether they could buy their entire salt supply for the upcoming, next season, from us. That amounts to about 250 tons. We believe that that's well within the range that we can accommodate that amount. They would purchase it from the same amount, in the same amount that we purchase it under our contract. We don't know what that amount is yet because ours has to be bid with the state of Ohio. So with the agreement that's been drafted, the law director basically talks about it. They're under no obligation to purchase it. It has certain stipulations in there. Obviously, we don't have it ourselves, so we can't sell it to them. So we have that caveat. So we don't expect that situation to occur. And then there's also a provision in there where the agreement can be suspended in the event that our supply gets below a certain level. And we set that at a fairly conservative rate of about 1,500 tons. If we only have 1,500, then we may, we're not obligated to be able to sell to one of those situations. But anyway, it's something that we discussed with John. I know he's met with his counterpart in Healthy. The safety service director has made the request to me. And it's a fairly simple agreement that lays out the terms. But it's another way in which we can cooperate with some of our neighbors. With some economies of scale, we have greater capacity to store than the city does. And of course, for the last, was it 2 years now, John? We've gone up the price. Yes, last year. So that's been very good for us. So we're buying on the state purchasing contract. So this is a good example of a lot of cooperation right on that line.
This is the main local church.
Yeah, for sure. State letting us on their contract and then local governments working cooperatively. So just seeking a motion authorizing me to enter into that agreement. The city manager for Mount Healthy would sign under.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor? Motion carries.
You know, I was just thinking, when you look at the fact that we have about 5,000 tons that we hold in that salt plant, so 250 tons is just a small number.
Should be a big impact for us. Like I said, you know, the winter like we did, you want to be careful not to overextend so that we take care of our needs. Next item I have is similar, seeking the board's authorization to allow me to enter into an agreement with Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. This pertains to our ambulance service and our EMS billing program that we have. All ambulance providers in Ohio that currently have contracts with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield are now being required to sign a modified new contract by October of this year, where they will not be considered a participating provider. We received this information from Med Account Management. They are the company that we contract with to do our EMS billing. Essentially, what this contract does is it establishes the pricing of what they'll pay for their particular insured in the case where we will be transporting through our EMS billing. It has a series of new provisions in there. There really isn't a lot of choice that we have. And if we don't sign it, it just means that we will not be able to be a provider. We will receive any type of compensation through the EMS billing situation. Laura, I know you reviewed the contract. I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
It's pretty standard, and it's confidentiality issues between the various entities. It is very similar to what they use for the network provided positions. I think it is probably their same contract. So some of it doesn't translate exactly well to the EMS arena, but it's certainly nothing that we have problems with complying with. People don't know where they did their confidentiality agreements. And we obviously have to deal with the Medicare issues right now. So it's a lot of paper for something. It's 30-some pages, I believe, for something that we're really already doing. The only issue from their standpoint is that they make sure that we meet certain standards, which we do. So we have some technical on that.
And if we don't use this, then we become the collection agency to try to collect from people who
Well, we could still use a company to do it, but we would not be sent a check. If they provided a check for the transport, it would go to the patient.
Patient the insurance. Correct.
Right. So, and that would certainly be difficult for what we're trying to do.
And my one question, I read this and I'm sitting here paging through trying to find the page that had the actual schedule of fees. Is it significantly less than what they're paying us now?
I believe it's more.
It's in the front case.
It's on the front.
Correct. I mean, about 6 or 7 pages, 8 pages.
I saw it before.
Right here, it's about 5 pages.
Oh, here it is, yeah. Yeah, about the same, right?
Yes.
Okay,
There's some slight increases they indicate.
good, good. Okay, we have a motion to approve the Anthem contract.
Actually, this, what you're doing, a motion to allow me to sign.
We have a motion to allow Mr. Henkamp to sign.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and then one more contractual issue is each year, Chief Leininger checks his resources. One of the resources that is somewhat scarce throughout this area is the ability to fight brush fires. And some number of years ago, I don't know how many years ago it was, but the village of Glendale purchased a brush pump. This is a pump of about, I think, 250 gallon capacity. It gets mounted on the back of a pickup truck. In the event you have a brush fire somewhere in a remote area, it allows you to get the pickup truck back there where you otherwise wouldn't be able to get a full piece of fire apparatus. And they purchased this, or they acquired it actually, I think, through a grant through the former fire chief. They have since taken it out of service just because the need in Glendale wasn't there, they weren't using it. Chief inquired with the new fire chief and requested to see if we could put it in service. And that's what this agreement does. It allows for the pump to be continue to be owned and always will be owned by the village of Glendale. It allows us to use it if the number of how it can be put into use, and not only for us, but in the case of mutual aid situations, just the training, the storage, the maintenance that we'll do on it. And then, of course, we'll insure it and be responsible for it if it is damaged, but there's no charge for it. So we'll continue to use it as long as the agreement works with both parties. I think it's a win-win situation. I guess it's another example. Two communities cooperating for a positive purpose. There's no cost here, like I said, other than just for us to include on our schedule for insurance purposes. But we'll make this available for us and to our neighboring communities.
It's my understanding, Mike, these are pretty expensive if we had to go buy our own.
They are, Mr. Arnold. If I would purchase a new one, they're about $13,000.
13.
So, good way for us to have utilization and not cost. So again, just looking for a motion from the board to allow me to enter into this evening on behalf of the board with the village of Glendale.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then the last action item that I have is just need a motion from the board to designate Howard Township. We'll use our, what is known as Hamilton County Township 20% money. Each year, the county engineer makes available a certain amount of money, they call it 20% funds, to townships based on the amount of balances that they have, which is based on those sort of criteria on the size of that township, mileage and things of that nature. In the past, we've always used this money for rejuvenation purposes. Rejuvenation is a process that we use after we have repaid the new. So if we repaid the new street, say last year, you come back 1 year later and you put basically like an oil process back into the pavement. And the thinking is that if you do that on a newly paved street, or before it's a year or two old, it increases the life that you get out of the street. So it adds to the elasticity of the asphalt, gives you a better product. So that is traditionally how we've used it. Last year we did apply, I think the monies came in at a later time, but we actually applied to the skip project as part of our match. But back in 2014, what we're recommending to the board is that we use our 20% money, which is about, John, am I looking at that balance right at 22,000?
Yes,
22, almost $23,000, excuse me, but we apply that towards rejuvenation projects that we do later this year. So just need a motion designated. You have to fill out the application to apply for the money and basically spell out what you're going to use it for. So that's what this motion allows us to do.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, the only other thing I have on the discussion is personnel update. I did accept the resignation of Keith Lackey, who's a part-time paramedic firefighter. His resignation is effective April 4th, 2014. Also accepted the resignation of Barbara Kirk as a police dispatcher. Her resignation date was effective April 22nd. We did hire her replacement in Amanda Estes as a police dispatcher. Her date of hire was April 7th. And we did have 2 promotions in our police department. 2 police officers recently hired by us 6-8 months ago as part-time and moved to full-time. Ryan Camardo going to full-time effective date of April 12th, and also Brandon Musgrove going from part-time to full-time April the 12th. And this kind of is a good example of exactly what we hope to achieve by bringing in some of our new hires as part-time, hoping that if it worked out for us and proved themselves what they thought they would eventually be promoted to full-time. So this is a good example of that. We do have some part-time hirings in the senior community center. Harry Bowman is a building monitor. As effective date of hire was April 14th. Sue Stevens is a bartender, effective April 16th. And we've got 2 summer help that have joined us, 2 of our summer help. the upcoming season, Taylor Bovee, effective date of May 5th, and Jacob Hungenmuller, effective date of May 7th. And Kim, we got through, I think, most of your day on Saturday without any rain. I mean, we made it through the whole day. I mean, late, but better than what you expected. Kim will bring us up to date on what happened with the Great American Cleanup and other community events.
Thank you. Yeah, we made it through, but our Forest Service Department had to bear the weather. So it let loose as soon as we were done. We did have a successful event. We had 125 volunteers that day, 12 different community groups. We collected 110 bags of litter, removed 5 tires. We planted 504 trees and about 12 flats of flowers. We cleaned the on and off ramps of Cross County Highway and most of our major thoroughfares. And we also cleaned 3 creeks all in 3 hours. So it was quite an outstanding feat for everybody that was involved, and I'm very appreciative for all the volunteers that came out. It rains every year. I don't know, I changed the date. It rains every year. So our next upcoming events, we've got Community Night at the Y on June 1st. All Springfield Township residents will enjoy free admission to the Pal Crossing YMCA all day. That's actually new. But then from the evening, we'll have our community pool party from 6 to 9 p.m. We invite businesses to come out for our booths, for a free booth space. And we have games in the pool and prizes. It's a lot of fun. And then we have a family concert scheduled for back behind the senior center on the patio there on June 12th. And we're bringing out entertainers, a family entertainer. His name is Chip Richter. That event is free, completely 100% brought through the Springfield Township Arts and Enrichment Council. And we do not have sponsors for this particular event, so this is kind of our big gift to the community is this big family concert.
I would just like to say, yes, the rain held off for us on Saturday, but all of those individuals that volunteered, and I was part of a group that went to Brentwood Park, and we planted 250 trees in about 2 hours. And last year when we planted some trees, we were slipping and sliding in the rain and the mud, so it was muddy, but not as bad as it was last year. But to be able to plant that many trees in that short of time, I just think it's phenomenal. Once they got the knack of how to put the shovel in, thanks to Trey, then put the tree in place, it was on. So they did a fabulous job, and I'm glad that the rain held off until we were finished. It was just a great group, young people.
The only other thing I have is that the board has copies of the departmental activity reports, so unless there's a question, that's it. But I will need to request a move into the executive session for the purposes of discussing the employment of our public employees.
I have a couple questions of our department. I was reviewing the annual report from our police department, and when I looked at some of the numbers and the data, it appears that in some of our areas, we've seen an increase in crimes, and other ones we've seen a decrease. And so, Dave, Chief, can you kind of clarify that for me, why? And because the increase is looked like it was from 2011.
Well, yeah, we go up and down every year in crime stats. What we do is a 3-year comparison. When we break it down by the departmental offenses, the FBI basically uses to determine your crime rate. So overall, our crime rate was down in 2013. It kind of balances out. We were up in auto thefts. We had a string of auto thefts early this winter where people were leaving their cars all the time, and people coming around from the neighborhood jumping in the cars. So our auto thefts were actually up. Our larceny offenses are actually down from 2012. With our high year, we dropped a little bit last year. Our burglary rate was down, our assault rate was down, our robbery rate, aggravated robbery was a little bit up, and but our rate offenses reported were half of what they were the year before. And then we 3 of those have been solved, and those are all drug-related homicides. But overall, the crime rate's relatively the same as it was.
The auto theft, mostly kids jumping in.
Yeah, there were 4 kids that we eventually arrested that were responsible for about 20 different auto thefts. They were taking cars from Springfield Township, North Dallas Hill, and not healthy. And basically, they would just go out in the morning and walk around and find people that left their cars, driving in their driveway or parking lot, or gas stations or whatever, and they just jump in and take off. And then we eventually arrested them. It took quite a while. They were taking the cars, and for the most part, the cars were going down to one there, and they were just dumping them down there and then switching out plates, and they would take the stolen car out, leave it, steal the car. But we ended up making an arrest on that. Our car thefts for the past 3 months have been nil. So, and a lot of these cases, even like in burglaries, we have the same situation where we'll have a series of burglaries in an area, neighborhood, where it's the same people basically commit all the offenses. We'll catch them, close and go with 10, 20, 30 burglaries. Most of them, the burglaries and the thefts, I'm sure you're all aware of all the news about heroin. It's inexpensive to have it, and it causes a lot of theft offenses, a lot of burglaries, and most people that we're arresting for those offenses are on heroin addiction. So that's still being an ongoing issue.
Tell me the processing, for example, and I know that Rob has also shared with us some of the challenges they have, our department and the EMTs have with individuals who are abusing drugs, especially heroin. Does it take a lot of time to process that paperwork?
Yeah, we made a lot of arrests for possession of heroin, possession of firearms, convicted felons. And the paperwork that we have to do, the processing, take them down to Justice Center, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then an officer's tied up. That's very good smooth.
And then I have one more thing. I was fortunate to go to one of our area hospitals that recognized our EMT ambulance services, and we were rated one of the top 10 in Hamilton County, and I think that's something to be really, really proud of. Rob was there as well. Can you kind of give an overview of how that happened and the outcome from your perspective, other than the bobsled, Jamaican bobsled person that was a guest there?
Well, first of all, we're very humbled by the award. You're right, we're recognized over the top 10. This was done also by quality and quantity. We take a lot of our runs to Mercy West, and the award was given by Mercy West, the CEO of Mercy West, Michael Stevens, and he awarded the 10 departments an award of excellence. The main thing was it recognized the technology that we use in the field. We call it our STEMI technology, and what it does, it allows us to recognize a heart attack in the field. We can transmit that data with our 1280 kgs, send it directly to the physicians, the ER physician, cath lab physicians. They recognize the heart attack, and then they will assemble their cath lab team. So when we arrive, they go directly to the cath lab, and they're able to mitigate whatever situation they have there, remove the blockage, and hopefully take care of the patient expeditiously. The key, though, is all of this needs to be done in 90 minutes or less. So time is of the essence. So any little thing that we can do to expedite that is to the advantage of the patient. And we've had some successes, and that's why we were being recognized. So we're very proud of that honor, and we continue to raise the bar of our service of excellence and use technology where it can be used. And the most important thing, though, is that we get results, and we're saving people every year. with this technology. So we're very humble, but very honored at the same time.
And that's another example of how we continue to work with the community and partnership in the community. And Mercy does a fabulous job. But also, I was listening to the story about the gentleman who had a heart attack and was transferred to University of Cincinnati, and it appeared that he wasn't even responsive. And by the time he got to the hospital, thanks to the work of the paramedics, they had a team waiting, and that he actually survived. It's a miracle. So, it's just, again, the work that we do, working with our communities, not only in the police department, the service department, but also with our fire department as well. You guys are to be commended.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Next, then, moving on to board resolutions. We have a number of resolutions this evening. The first one is resolution number 34, 2014. This is declaring nuisances pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 505.87, at various listed properties within Springfield Township, and authorizing statutory actions necessary to abate the nuisances. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded. Mr. Bernie? Aye. Mrs. McFarland?
Aye.
Mr. Conwell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have resolution number 35, 2014, authorizing the private sale of motor vehicles which were titled to the township pursuant to revised code section 4513.61 and revised code 4513.62, and which are not needed or unfit for use in the police department.
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Bernie?
Aye.
Mrs. McFarland?
Aye.
Mr. Conwell?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 36, 2014, authorizing the sale by internet auction of vehicles titled to the township pursuant to revised code section 4513.61 and 4513.62, and which are no longer needed for public use, are obsolete, or unfit for use in the police department.
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Bernie?
Aye.
Mrs. McFarland?
Aye.
Mr. Conwell?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
And finally, we have resolution number 37, 2014, which is a supplemental appropriation within the State Law Enforcement Fines Fund 2906 and within the general fund. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Bernie?
Aye.
Mrs. McFarland?
Aye.
Mr. Conwell?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
And on that last resolution, I would maybe add that just for public's knowledge, $6,500 of that is to go towards the removal of ash trees that are hit by the emerald ash borer in our parks and are dead, and we have to get them down so they're not a public hazard. With that, do we have any old business before the board?
I have none.
No.
New business? Do we have any new business this evening?
I have none.
No, I don't.
Okay. We then come to citizens' participation. If there's anyone here that wants to address the Board of Trustees this evening, we ask that you come to the podium, state your name and address, and that everyone else remain quiet so we can hear what they have to say. Is there anyone here that wants to address the trustees? Yes, sir.
My name is Keith Jennings. I'm Director of Tax for the Home Group located at Eagles Avenue. We have over 300 employees located at that facility, more than 50% of which will be affected directly by the recent legislation that you guys passed. And I'm getting questions daily. When will you begin putting that in place? And will there be an ordinance issued that will explain or define what you like to call compensation or taxable wages?
Well, to answer some of your questions, there has to be pursuant to state law. Well, let's back up. The voters, we've had so much discussion over the last 6 months over the JEDs, the Joint Economic Development Zone. the voters did approve it here this past week. There has to be a JETS board formed next that will actually vote on implementing the tax. There will then be a series of steps that we will be outlining here in the future as to how the collection of this tax will be implemented, as well as the procedures for individuals who reside in the township to receive an economic development grant equal to the amount that they put into that they paid in to this 1.5% payroll tax, and also procedures on how any businesses who have paid in, any businesses that are owned by township residents, how they would qualify for a grant as well on business profits.
I've got a feeling that somehow, somewhere in the finance department, they have some timelines as to when they expect this to go and to get started. That's all I'm asking.
Mike, you want to?
The first thing that has to happen is the board of elections has to certify the results, so we're expecting that could happen this week. I would say to answer your questions, probably going to be late July, August, somewhere in that time frame. It actually won't be Springfield Township that collects it. It'll be the city of Mount Healthy and through Rita, but that's basically as far as when a company will have to start paying it. We're expecting it to be sometime this summer, probably towards the latter part of the summer.
I have employees that are just saying, when do I expect my wages to start going down?
That would be the best. That would be the best
Someone
estimate.
is telling August 1st, September 1st.
In that, I think in that range, yeah. With knowing all the things that have to take place, that's probably a pretty good estimate. Could be a couple of weeks earlier, a couple of weeks later. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good range.
All the companies will get notice.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Rita will be sending out notices to all the affected employers, notifying them of the procedures, the timeline, when the actual withholding should begin. So every employer that's affected by the judge will get notice from Rita.
I appreciate that notice will come in my office, but like I said, I got 300 employees that want to know when their wages are going to go down. And I'm telling them right now, July 1, but you're telling me now, August 1?
Sometime between July and August. It just really depends on when the board of election does it, when the board meets. There's certain legal requirements, so it could miss a week or two. Yeah, it's going to be in that. I would say.
What ordinance will you be adopting?
We won't be.
I'm assuming, are you using Mount Healthy then?
Yes, you mean the tax ordinance, yes.
Yeah.
Mount Healthy's tax ordinance.
You're going to be using Mount Healthy's tax ordinance?
Yes.
Okay. I'll like that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board this evening? Hearing that there is not, do we have a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing employment of a public employee?
So moved.
Second.
All those, Mr. Burnham? Aye. Mr. Trump?
Aye.
Mr. Conwell?
Aye.
I'm on executive session.
All right, thank you everyone for coming. We appreciate it.